What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. It's Ethan and Logan here on the Shiftly Ads podcast, the very first one we're doing here. And we're going to cover marketing today for dealerships and salespeople, primarily in the automotive space. So we got a list of questions we're going to go through. We're going to tackle some marketing questions that a lot of people have.
Yeah, these are some of the biggest things in the industry where people are either struggling or just don't know what to do, what direction to start going, so they can start running their own ads or learning how to market themselves on social media. So that's what we're going to be going over today, guys.
Let's just get into the juicy stuff, like a juicy question right off the bat. Like, what kind of marketing is best for a dealership manager or an owner, right? What kind of marketing is the best? Would you say it's like radio, TV ads, newspaper ads, like Google ads, cars.com, Facebook ads? What have you seen for dealerships?
Well, this is kind of a loaded question because it kind of depends on the size of your dealership, where the best place to market yourself is. Because, you know, Google is like a great place if you're a really big dealership and you have a lot of budget for this. You know, you can be there, you can rank number one. But if you're somebody who's got a marketing budget of $5,000 to $10,000 a month, you just can't compete with the guys who are spending $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 a month.
That's actually a really good point, because Mark Croft, the very first dealership that we ever set up on, that we were running ads for, he was in this exact same scenario. He was running Google SEO and he was running cars.com, spending hundreds of dollars a month, and he just couldn't compete, right? Because he still ranked page 3 for Google SEO, only spending $500 a month. We put that same $500 into Facebook ads and he got over 100 leads and doubled his numbers, went from 6 sales a month to 12 sales a month. So I guess like kind of lead into, obviously you're had a back end for Shiftly B2B, so you're running these ads for these dealerships. Like obviously Facebook ads, if you're a smaller dealership, is going to be the good way to go, correct?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually what I was getting into there. I was actually going to bring up Mark Croft. He was one of the first guys that actually got in with us and started running these Facebook ads and just saw massive success right off the beginning. Like you kind of mentioned, he was wasting money in other areas. He just wasn't spending the right money for where his dealership was at and what it really needed. So I would say anything for that small to mid-sized dealership, you need to have a social media presence, and it needs to be your biggest presence. So getting on Facebook, getting on Instagram ads, TikTok ads even. I mean, we generated, hundreds of thousands of leads for some of these dealerships now, where they don't even know what to do with the lead flow, and they need to hire salespeople for this stuff. So for those large cap dealerships, the big ones like the big franchise dealers, Chevy, CDJR, Ford dealerships, where you've got 800, 1,000 vehicles on the lot, it's a little different. Your marketing game looks different because you have more budget to use. So you should really be poking in several different areas, whereas these small dealerships, you're really going to be focusing on that digital platform, Facebook, Instagram, to really get those leads in and generate the money for your business.
Yeah, and why do you think it's so easy nowadays, when we run ads for dealerships, for it to click super, super fast? Like, why do you think, like, instead of them spending $500 a month on cars.com versus $500 a month on Facebook ads is like tremendously more profitable running it on Facebook ads? Is it just like we're just savage marketers, or is it like a mix of both, that it's like the platform and that we tend to be good at marketing?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Obviously, yes, we are good at marketing. I would never say we're not.
Yeah.
But it's all about getting where your audience is, right? There's a different kinds of customers that are going to buy from different kinds of dealerships. So we have to identify who's your ideal client and how do we get in front of them? Where are they on a daily basis? Well, they're on this thing all day long. If we can get in front of their eyes multiple times a day for weeks in a row, where do you think they're going to buy their next car from? They're going to be on here and they're going to be like, I've been seeing this guy all over the place. I got to go in and see him, see what he's got for me. So on Car Gurus, Auto Trader, paying for Google SEO ads, it's just not where your kind of client is going to come from if you're that dealership. So for Mark Croft in particular, he was spending $500 to be in front of clients that were never going to buy from him anyway. He transitioned where his $500 went, and he was able to get in front of the audience that was going to buy from him, and they did.
That's spot on, dude.
Yeah.
Do you think dealerships should post on Facebook Marketplace as well? Like small, mid-range, big size dealerships, like any size. Do you think they should post on Marketplace?
I mean, why would you not? That's like, it would be like just not having the vehicles at the front of your lot and keeping them all in the back. Why would you do that? Somebody's going to drive by and think you have no cars.
Great analogy.
It's like, it's a whole other lead source and a whole other opportunity to get leads because, again, you're in front of the people who can come buy from you. It's another free advertising platform for you where you're paying Auto Trader, Car Gurus, to do essentially the same thing for you, but you're paying them $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month. Facebook Marketplace is free. You just get out there and get in front of people. I mean, why would you not?
So I guess a better question, a more logical question is, why is Facebook good to post on? Yes, it's free, but like usually when something's free, it doesn't do well. So why should they post on Facebook Marketplace? Because some people still to this day don't know how powerful Facebook is and why it works.
Right. So there's kind of two things with Facebook where you really get a lot of traction and a lot of like audience pickup. And that's through posting on Facebook Marketplace and having tons of volume and consistency. So if you can post 10 to 15 cars a day and have that consistency over a week, Facebook's going to start pushing you out to more people in your local area, right? This is how algorithms work. But when you start posting in groups, that's where you're, again, like we identified, this is where people are all day long, is right on their phone. So now we're not only on the Marketplace tab, we're also on the Timeline tab when we post into groups. So we just identified that's where people are all day long, and they're scrolling through and seeing what we have based on what they're talking about, because Facebook's algorithm also listens to you. So you have a way to get your stuff in front of everybody, open targeting, it costs you nothing, and Facebook's going to target the people who are already interested in what you have to sell. So you just get in front of them where they're spending their day at all day long.
So what are the couple of things that you've seen people do on Facebook when they're trying to stay consistent and actually sell cars on Facebook? What are a couple of things that they do wrong and maybe that they haven't been getting success because of?
Yeah, so a lot of people, think that Facebook Marketplace it doesn't operate like a search engine, which it does. So a lot of times people don't post into these groups at all, which groups will help you get the clicks. When you get more clicks, more traction, it's going to push you out organically. It's all about organic growth. We got to get that push from getting clicks in. So the way we do that from two ways. Like I just mentioned, groups, but the other one is keywords in your listing description. So think of a Google search bar or Facebook Marketplace search bar. When somebody searches something in there, it's going to bring up the things that most closely resemble that. So if I type in 2015 F-150, well, if your listing says 2015 F-150 5 times in the description and somebody else's says it once, which one do you think is going to pop up first? Probably that one that's got five sayings of it in there.
Yeah.
It's listed 5 different times in that listing description. That's going to be the one that comes up first. Also, using hashtags. Hashtags help us get subcategorized in Facebook Marketplace. So that way we, again, can show up in more people's timeline, more people's feed, and therefore having a higher click rate, which then builds our algorithm rank, which gets us that organic outreach push.
Gotcha. Okay. So really groups and then the description.
Yeah, those are the two main ones right there where people really mess it up a lot. The last big one that I can think of, this just came to mind because I was dealing with a client on this yesterday. He kept putting his phone number in the listing description, which back in about September, Facebook did this huge change where they're trying to get scammers off their platform. And so when they're trying to do that, they're scraping for phone numbers all over the place. If your listing has a phone number in the pictures, in the listing description, it doesn't matter how you type that thing in there, whether it's letters and numbers and whatnot, they're still finding it and they're still banning people's accounts. What they do, it's super crazy. They actually shadow ban you first. So you just see your click rates go way down. You're getting no messages. And then if you keep doing it thinking, I've got to get more listings so I can get more people in here, and then they just ban your account altogether and you can't get it back. So those are the 3 big things where it's either we're not doing the things to help us get the outreach, or we're actually doing things that are making Facebook shadow ban us. Those are the 2 areas where people really struggle.
Yeah.
Ethan, one of the other things that I've noticed, and this is something that you taught me about Facebook Marketplace, was how when those messages come in, a lot of people struggle with that conversion. So what have you learned on Facebook Marketplace to help you better convert those leads when you were in the car business?
Yeah, so I learned this through trial and error actually. So whenever I started in the car industry, I actually, if you've watched some of my other videos, I broke some records. I did pretty well as an 18-year-old that just got into the industry. That my first month in made over $10,000. And so the biggest thing was I was not good at sales, I was good at marketing, and that's why we're talking about marketing today, is it's so big. You could be the best salesperson in the world, and if you don't have marketing, you don't have somebody to talk to, you're not going to sell vehicles, right? You're not going to sell anything. So I posted a lot on Facebook Marketplace when I first got in the industry, and I was the lazy responder. And what I mean by that is when somebody said, hey, is this available? I clicked the little button that said, yes, it is still available.
Oh, that easy button right
That's
there.
it.
That's the easy button.
And about 90% of the people left me on red. And I tried some other things here and there, tried texting them, tried getting them to send me their phone number, tried getting them to book an appointment. And I found that the thing that works the best is sending them a video. And it makes sense because psychologically, you're making a real humanized connection with that person rather than just shooting them a text, right? People nowadays, when they're looking for vehicles, they put thousands of inquiries in, probably, at least hundreds, right, on a vehicle. And so if you can find a way to stand out, people don't always buy just the product. Sometimes they're buying who you are as well. And you hear that a lot in sales is you're selling yourself before you're selling your product.
Right.
And so I took that to heart and I started sending people videos, thanking them for reaching out, introducing them, putting a face to the name, and then saying, hey, what can I grab you? I know you're probably busy at work or you're probably busy doing something, right? What can I do to get you more information on this vehicle? What exactly are you looking for? Boom. They'd say, hey, I'm looking for some more pictures. I'm looking for a Carfax. I'm looking for XYZ. I'd say, perfect. What's the best number to send that over to you? I'll get that over to you right now. Then I get their phone number, send it over, text them, and go from there in terms of scheduling the appointment. But super simple. You want to send them a video because you want to stand out and you want to be unique. You want to build that connection with them.
It's a really good point that you brought up. It's actually referencing back to one of our previous videos, reaching out to your customers to serve them and not sell them.
Yeah.
If you're just focused on getting that book number, just getting some gross on your check and stroking a check every day, well, then you're not actually serving your client. So inevitably, you're going to end up serving less clients. If you call with the intention to serve or you reach out with the intention to serve, what information can I get you about what you're interested in to help you make the right decision? Dude, you're going to sell way more cars by them just being, nope, price is $40,000, get in here or buy it. You know, somebody's going to come buy it. Dude, that never works. Nobody buys those.
You know, I think we're about to turn sales related into this podcast because that got me fired up on something is that a lot of people try and follow the sales gurus out there, you know, because they think it's all about what you say to a person, and it's really not. Like, honestly, like you can use certain like objection handling things and they do work. Like, trust me, I studied a lot objection handling when I first got in the industry, but you can try and study that so hard that if you don't understand the true psychology behind it and the tonality and things like that, you're going to be more focused on what you're trying to say than listening to your prospect. And that's the biggest thing, is truly listening to their needs and making sure that you're serving them rather than just being, you know, I'm going to close you. I'm a badass closer. Right. So going back to marketing, I just wanted to jump out and say that about sales because it's something that I learned as well. You know, when I first got in the industry, I was super monotone. I couldn't talk to anybody. My face got red anytime I greeted somebody. You know, me from high school, dude, I couldn't give a presentation in front of 6 people, let alone ask a girl out to a dance in person. I had to shoot her a text, you know? So the biggest thing for me is I just pushed myself out in front of as many people. Hey, my name's Ethan. Welcome to the dealership. And at first it was kind of weird because I was super low energy. Hey, my name's Ethan. Welcome to the dealership. You know, face is red, you know, puffy face at the time, acne all over my face. And they're probably just thinking like, does this guy even work here? You know what I mean? But I pushed myself as much as possible and just focused on the tonality, focused on truly being there for that person. And that's ultimately what got me deals alongside, you know, with the marketing as well.
So real quick, this is like something that I've heard in the industry recently is like guys are a little afraid to get themselves out on that platform to really like push the content, push themselves, take the videos, post the stories, make the reels. So like, how did you like, I know you just kind of said you pushed yourself through it, but like, what was the mental switch in your mind that made you understand like, I've got to get on this platform and market myself. I've got to get over my shyness if I want to succeed.
Dude, that's huge because it's with anything and everything. It's really just discipline when you break it down to it, right? It's like committing to something, but what I always focused on was a longer term vision, right?
Yeah.
I was not focused on the moment and how I felt and the emotions of like, currently I'm scared to do something. I was focused on the outcome of what was going to happen once I actually did something, right? And so I was focused on the future. What happens when I get good at this? Andy said, you know, when I watched this guy on YouTube, the reason I got in the industry was because he said you can make $10,000 a month with no college degree.
And you're sitting here making $2,500 a month. You're like,
yeah.
And going to college, you're like, man, that's a good deal.
Exactly. And so I said, what happened if I got good at this? And so a lot of people just need to start asking themselves, like, what happened if I actually stayed consistent and did what I said I was going to do and pushed myself out on social media or getting good at sales? People are so like short-term thinking and they rely on their emotions too. So those two things right there. They don't have the vision for the future super ingrained in that I'm going to do anything it takes to get there. So that was the only difference I would say between me and, you know, the people at the dealership or people now that are afraid to push themselves out there. Is just I wanted it worse than they did. And I was focused on the future, not in the moment, on my emotions.
Something to add on to that, something really important to highlight too would be just think about how much better it feels on the other side of that. Like how closed in a box you feel when you're like too afraid to do anything, too afraid to go shake somebody's hand, ask a girl out, post something on social media. It's like, how much better does it feel when you have the confidence to post anything, to walk up to anybody and start a conversation? I mean, you just feel like you're so free and like full of confidence and you feel awesome. Whether it results in dollars or not, which we both know it results in dollars, but it doesn't matter about the money. It's how much better you're going to feel inside of you for having done the shit to get you on the other side of that.
Very true. It feels very rewarding when you've broken out of your normal, like what you're used to, and you truly see yourself doing something on the other end. And I know it was especially rewarding whenever I knew myself in high school to be that guy that couldn't give presentations, that couldn't talk in front of a group of people. And that was like super humiliated, I would say, like nervous to talk in front of people. And then to see people around me be like, dude, this guy's in sales. Dude, this guy's crushing it in sales. Like where did that come from? You know, that was like the little bit of taste of like, oh shit, I'm actually doing something here, you know?
All right, guys, that's all we had to go over today. So look, if you're a dealership, you're a salesperson, and you got some value from today, throw a like below for us, throw a comment if you have more questions. But most importantly, if you need more help and you need something from our team, please just click the link below, reach out to us. Our team is on standby, always ready to help. So whether you're a dealership, salesperson, GM, internet manager, we help everybody in the automotive industry. So if you need extra help, please reach out to us here at Shiftly.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, leave a like, leave a comment below. And yes, if you need more help, like he said, click the link below. Our team is on standby, ready to help you guys at any moment. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one.